Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. In today's video, we are going to see if it was worth it to spend $1,000 to grade some Pokemon cards. We have some really cool stuff in here, Japanese Pokemon cards, promos, vintage cards, full art trainers, all kinds of cool stuff. I'm excited to see what grades these cards get, and I want to know if it was worth it to spend that $1,000 or not. I think this will be a very fun experiment, so let's crack these cases open and see what we have inside. We have 48 cards in this PSA return, which is actually one of my largest PSA return in quite a while. And I spent $20 per cards to get these cards graded. That is actually some of the most expensive fees that I've ever spent to grade Pokemon cards. And I think it was potentially worth it for this grading, just because of some of the potential value inside of these cards. There are definitely cards inside of this grading group that could be value upwards of, $1,000 if they get a PSA 10. So I'm really excited about this return. The prices on some of these cards could really vary. There are cards in here that if they get a PSA 4, PSA 5, even a PSA 9, they may only be worth $30 or $40, perhaps $20 even, so we're definitely losing value. PSA has definitely upped their game. I mean, look at this. There's a single card inside of this box, but they wrapped it so perfectly. Is this a really expensive card? I don't know why. There's a single card in here? No. I'm sorry. There's two cards in here. So maybe these are just extra wrap for some reason. We're going to go right over a lot of this. PSA has definitely upped their games in terms of how well they wrapped all these cards. So if you did the math, if we have 48 cards inside of this PSA return, then we really only spent $960. If you include shipping as well as insurance fees, you definitely want to insure your cards, because PSA actually does not guarantee that they'll make it to PSA in one piece. Then it actually is worth it to buy the insurance, which means our total cost for grading these cards is pretty much exactly $1,000, and we're going to see how much value is inside of these cards starting right now. We're going to save the bubble wrap cards for the end. Maybe those are the most expensive ones, maybe they're random cards, I don't know. So let's just get started right away with our very first PSA graded return, and we're going to flip that right over, and wow, we are starting off with an insanely strong card. We have ourselves the alternate art god card. We have the Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia Tag Team GX alt art from Cosmic Eclipse. What a cool card. They didn't call these cards alternate art back in those days. They were still calling them full art, but this is a PSA 10. This is a no-brainer. This is a very valuable card. That is a very strong start. So let's keep it going. We want to see a lot more PSA 10. Next up, we got ourselves the Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team GX. You're going to see a bunch of cards from this set that is from 2019 and older, just because of when I did this submission. I mean, I sent these cards away in January of 2021. Just think how long ago that was. It's insane. We were so deep in the middle of Pokemon hype. We were in the middle of the pandemic. We have ourselves a nice full art Sylveon GX shiny from Hidden Fates. Who else remember Hidden Fates? What a cool set. One of the really best special holiday set that really released, and it kicked off a bunch of other ones like Shining Fates, which came out after it. Next up, we got ourselves another PSA 10. We got ourselves the Reshiram and Zekrom GX. Another one that I would call, this one is kind of interesting. It is sort of a full art. It is kind of an alternate art. It's kind of hard to categorize this card, but it is a very cool card. Drawn by Naoki Saito, who is my favorite artist. Another great piece. We're going to keep on going. some serious value so far. We got ourselves the Zacian V from the Ultra Premium collection. I thought this would be a hit. It really isn't. This is a card that a lot of people probably graded. A lot of people graded Charizard cards as well. You know, really basic cards like the Full Art Charizard V from Champion's Path. So many of those cards were graded. This card, not really worth getting graded. It's pretty much worth about as much as the grading fees right now. So next up, we got ourselves the Pikachu Sword and Shield promo number 20. One of the earliest promo from Sword and Shield era. A really cool card. You just don't see these kind of artworks in English. We never really get promos like this anymore. It's got Pikachu, Sobble, Grookey, and Scorbunny. A very cool card. I already have a PSA 10 version of this card, so we are going to be selling this card off. If I have an extra copy of any card, I made you guys a promise that I would auction them off. Ooh, that is gonna be a burn. We got ourselves a PSA 7 Armor Mewtwo. That is not super surprising, just because Armor Mewtwo came in a disastrous lunchbox, and pretty much every copy of this card right out of the box was damaged. It's almost impossible to find this card in a PSA 10. They're very valuable. This card I open up right from a lunchbox and it's a PSA 7. So yeah, there you go. Not surprising at all. And we got ourselves a little better, an Armor Mewtwo PSA 8. That's definitely a little better. Still not really worth getting this card graded. It's just a lot of risk. If it came back as a PSA 10, completely worth it, but very high risk, high reward, just because so many of the Armor Mewtwo were damaged. The value of the card is pretty much what I am seeing as the average for sold listings on eBay, which is probably the most likely area that you're going to see these prices be most popular in. We got ourselves the Zamazenta V, also a PSA 9. Once again, not a super popular card to get graded. If you have the Zamazenta V and the Zacian V, both gold cards, both PSA graded right next to each other, it could be a really good display, and both the PSA 9s are very affordable. Wow, there we go. Now that's a heavy hitter. We got ourselves the 2015 XY number 154 7-Eleven promo from Japan. In Japan, they do a lot of promotions with a lot of different companies, and 7-Eleven is one that gets a lot of the Pikachu promos. They do one of these every couple of years, I think, and this is a pretty cool one. It's definitely raised in value quite a bit. I purchased this card for, I think, $15, so I didn't spend a ton of money on it, and it's really ridiculous how much it's valued right now in a PSA 10. Another one, we got ourselves a PSA 6. Not super surprising. The grades on the Japanese cards can be very harsh. This card definitely going to go up for auction. If so, you would like a PSA 6 7-Eleven Pikachu promo card. If you're a Pikachu collector, that'd be a cool one to add to your collection. Significantly more affordable than the PSA 10, and honestly, on display, it looks just as good. Next up, wow, now that one really burns me, and oh no, I can completely understand why this card caught a PSA 4. I can definitely see some chipping and damage at the very top of the card. Not sure if that is showing off on the screen, but that is really disappointing. I got this card right out of the wrapper. Like, this card came directly out of the wrapper. A really cool card. This card was a shiny Rayquaza. That is a shiny Rayquaza. Japanese exclusive. Came out with the game Nobunaga's Ambition. If you're a fan of Samurai Warriors or any of the Sengoku Jidai period, that's a pretty cool card to collect if you're into Nobunaga at all. Next up, we got ourselves a PSA 9 figure collection Pikachu. Already saw the PSA 10 of this card. We're going to put this card up for auction as well. If you are interested in purchasing any of these extra copies of cards, check out the link down in the description and you can check out my auction for them. They will be sold off to pretty much any viewer who would like to pick them up. I'm fully transparent about it. Next up, we got ourselves another 7-Eleven promo, except this one doesn't say it is. It is a 7-Eleven promo, kind of like this one right here. Came out in 2020, a pretty rare one. We got the swallowed up or gobbled up Pikachu, as I like to call the card. It's really adorable. We got Cramorant trying to swallow Pikachu. It's a pretty cool card, and in a PSA 10 it is a very valuable card. That one definitely worth getting graded. So far, so good. We definitely got some really good pickups, and at the same time, we also got some pretty bad beats, and that's just how grading Pokemon cards can go. And the biggest thing I would like to iterate on is that the cards that I'm grading are not the cards that most people are grading. Most people are grading cards like Charizard V, Charizard GX, really basic cards that are probably valued at around $10 that don't really need to be graded. How do I know this? It's because these cards are definitely by far the most common cards to get graded. If you look at the population reports for these Charizard cards, there are literally tens of thousands of them currently being graded right now. Tens of thousands. There are so many copies of these cards out there. PSA population report on these cards is absolutely insane. There are so many copies of them. And even if you're not grading those cards because you're saying, you know, it is a $10 card, it's not really worth getting graded, there are people out there that are like you that are probably grading some $100 or $200 alternate art cards. PSA 10 Shibuya Pikachu, another great card to pick up. And that's completely okay. If you have a couple of alternate art cards, it might actually be worth it for you to grade them. But to make it really worth it to grade your Pokemon cards, you need to grade them in bulk. And what that means is submitting well over 20 cards to make it really worth it to grade your Pokemon cards. So we got a ton more Pokemon cards to check out. I know what this next batch is. It's pretty much all 4 trainer cards. And this really comes from, if you remember, in early 2021, I did a video where I said I was wrong about full art trainer cards. I said I decided that full art trainer cards are actually pretty cool and are great collectibles long term, and I was just in denial. And so I started grading a lot of full art trainer cards because I wanted a collection. I was completely behind and I wanted some really cool one. PSA 9 Green's Exploration. I've made my opinions on PSA 9s really clear. I think they're great. They're a strong, affordable entry point for most collector. A PSA 9 in most cases looks as good as a PSA 10. You're not going to really be able to tell the difference between most PSA 9s and PSA 10s anyway. So if you are willing to take a PSA 9, you're going to be able to save yourself a lot of money as long as you're okay with the fact that you do have yourself a 9. So most of these submissions are just me filling out my full art trainer card collection. If I had to go out on the open market and pick up these cards, even in a PSA 9 at the time, I mean, in early 2021, it was insane how expensive full art trainer cards are. This is a big hit. We got ourselves the 2018 Lycia full art in a PSA 10 drawn by Naoki Saito. Once again, one of my favorite artists. Super cool card. There's just so much color inside of it. Very vibrant, great card. That's a great hit at a PSA 10. Let's keep on going. The value is so good right now. We got Leon. That is not a great card to pick up. You know, very modern, and Leon's not super popular. But I was just trying to fill out my full art trainer collection. Next up, we got a Japanese full art trainer, it looks like. And we got ourselves the Sightseer in a PSA 9. I'm happy with that. Sightseer is a really cool one. Once again, drawn by Naoki Saito, a really adorable card. This card never came to English. It is a Japanese exclusive inside of the Tag Team GX All-Stars booster box. So if you want this card, you have to go for the Japanese version. And this card is super expensive right now, even in a PSA 9. You're talking about a $400 or $500 card it is currently going for. I sent 2 copies of the Sightseer to be graded. Both cards look pretty good condition. Hopefully at least one of them is a PSA 10, but I am fine with a PSA 9. That's completely fine. Since we have a duplicate, one of these cards will go up on auction. So if you like to pick up a PSA 9 Sightseer card, a great card, and a very expensive PSA 9 too, then yep, you now have the opportunity to pick one up from my own personal collection. We got ourselves a PSA 9, once again, Cynthia Ultra Prism. Most of these full art trainer cards are from my own personal collection. I just had a bunch of full art trainer cards around, and I picked some of my personal favorites to send off to be graded. And I know I wanted a lot more full art trainer cards than what I had available, so I started just picking, random cards that I could get graded just so I could have a full art trainer collection. I was so in need of a full art trainer card collection that I was willing to just grade any full art trainer card. So I'm sure you're gonna see some generic ones in here, like welder full art, not a super crazy one. We got the female welder full art though. That's pretty interesting, both the male and female welder, so that's kind of adorable. Is this one? Oh, I almost thought that one was drawn by Naoki Saito, but that is definitely not his art style. Next up, we got a Marnie full art in a PSA 8. That's a little bit unfortunate. This card is packed fresh. Sometimes that can definitely occur where you have a packed fresh card and you still get yourself a PSA 8, PSA 7. It does happen. Do not believe that just because you have a packed fresh card that you're going to get yourself a PSA 10, but sometimes it does happen. We got ourselves a second Reds Challenge in a PSA 10. I know for sure I saw one of these in a PSA 10 earlier, so this one will probably go up for auction. Let's keep on going. We got ourselves a Lily full art. The Lily full art card is definitely the chase card for a lot of full art trainer collector. This card is super hard to find in a PSA 10. The centering on this card is a little bit off, but I was hoping at least it would get a PSA 9 because I'll be honest, this card is so expensive, it's worth getting it graded no matter what condition it's in, probably just because of how valuable of a card it is. And we got ourselves another Sonia PSA 9. So we are going to auction this card off as well. Let's keep on going. So we're starting to get into some of the less desirable full art trainer cards. Here we have the Shining Fates one. Just a gym trainer full art trainer card. Nothing too crazy. Let's keep on going. We got Beauty, once again, another pretty modern one from Vivid Voltage. I was just trying to grade whatever full art trainer card I had at the time. We got ourselves Nessa PSA 8. That's a little bit unfortunate. PSA 9 would be great, but PSA 8 is definitely a little bit on the lower end. We're going to keep on going. Blues Tactic in a PSA 10. That's great. We got Green's Exploration, Blues Tactics, and Red's Challenge. All three cards drawn by Naoki Saito. So we're going to be definitely keeping at least one copy of each of those. Another Red's Challenge. I guess I pulled 3 copies of this card. This one is in a PSA 9. So that one will be going up for auction because it is another duplicate and another Nessa card. At least this one is PSA 9. So definitely the upgrade between the 9 and the 8s. Final one from that stack. And wow, that is a hit. Talk about a cool card. We have the PSA 10 Lily full art promo card. This card is super expensive right now. I actually already have a PSA 10 Lily from Ultra Prism, so we are going to auction off this Lily. If you want a PSA 10 Lily, this is going to be a great opportunity to pick one up because they are very expensive and they almost never go up for auction. I might be the only person that is auctioning off this card at this moment, so this is your opportunity to pick up this card, the holy grail of full art trainer card. A really cool card, a very rare card, and probably one of the best looking full art trainer card. Naoki Saito did a great job of just really making this card pop. I can completely understand why it is so popular. It's just an adorable card in general. And so we're going to keep on going. We're going to move on to some of the bubble wrap cards. Not sure what's inside of these bubble wraps. We're going to see just maybe some more full art trainer cards. That's my initial guess. And yep, we get ourselves some more duplicate full art trainer cards. PSA 9 Nessa. We're going to keep on going. A PSA 10 Leon, so that's an upgrade to Leon. And I mean, I'm happy with this result. I finally get that full art trainer collection that I've been waiting a year and a half on to finally accomplish. Sometimes you just got to be patient. I think I submitted even more than this because I really wanted a full art trainer card collection. I kind of skipped over that Skyla PSA 10 kind of fast, but that's from Shining Fates. I mean 2021, guys, so that's very early 2021. We got ourselves another B Vivid Voltage. So yeah, late 2020, early 2021. That's pretty much about as early as you're gonna get. We got ourselves Karina's Focus PSA 10. Another nice card, really solid, pretty well. Probably the latest card that I submitted inside of this group. Let's see what else we have here. We got 2 more cards, probably just random cards, perhaps the best graded cards, who knows. We're just gonna see what they are. We got ourselves, hey, now that's a vintage card, a 2006 Pikachu 10th anniversary promo drawn by Koki Saito, the other Saito, another really famous artist when it comes to drawing a lot of Pokemon cards, and a very cool one. I don't think I have this one inside of my collection, which is why I graded it. Believe it or not, I don't have every single Pikachu promo card. I don't want every Pikachu promo card. I try to pick up the ones that I actually enjoy the artworks of. You know, I don't pick up a card just because it is a certain type of card. I try to pick it up because I like the card itself. And this is one that I ended up picking up because I looked at it multiple times over and I was like, yeah, I resonate with this artwork. Let's pick it up. Finally, we got ourselves a Pikachu figure collection PSA 8, so not too shabby. I actually do not know what the total value of these cards are. This is pretty much the first time I've seen these grades, so we are going to tally up the total and see how much value it was for grading these Pokemon cards. Keep in mind that my graded return is not going to be the norm. Most people are not going to be grading cards like Lily Full Art from Ultra Prism or Shibuya Pikachu. Those cards are just not common in most people's collections. Most people are grading set releases, and those cards have significantly lower value. Most people are grading modern set cards, and those cards tend to be some of the lowest returns in terms of grading value. So in general, I still think it's a very risky proposition to grade most Pokemon cards unless you really know what you're doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you would like to pick up some Pokemon cards from my own personal collection, like I said, this is your once every twice a year opportunity to buy Pokemon cards from me. So check out the link down in the description, and I will see you guys next time.